Yes, guys, we're back here again, and again, more or less every day. We do this, how should I say it, this lovely thing here, and that is to show charts to you. And I love doing this every single day. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, do your thing. And yeah, shipping will be the theme of this roughly 10-15 minutes long video. I think shipping can show some great opportunities. And yeah, overall, I think especially the Baltic Dry Index, the looks very compelling here. So yeah, let's get straight into the beautiful stuff, the business, the technicals, all that good stuff. The BDRY, Baltic Dry Index, at a massive support here. Very important moment in time. Getting down to the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders, and also the possible overall bigger inverted head and shoulders. Again, we are now at that $1,300 level here that needs to hold. For now, it is. So let's see. But again, looks quite compelling here, and yeah, hopefully we start to grind to the upside again here for the BDI. Again, if we get below here, let's say we get below the 1200s, then we should be, be a bit more alert, you can say. At that point in time, I think we will need to see how the stocks, the individual stocks, reacts to that. But the BDRY, the Brave Wave Drive Bulk Shipping ETF, yes, that was a very long word. Looks incredibly bullish at the moment here. Again, I think this was some sort of Wyckoff accumulation phase, and this was the final coil that broke, and now we're getting ready to blast higher again. Next big resistance is actually all the way up there at roughly 19, and we are now at 12, 13 actually. So I think there's a lot more upside to come here for this ETF, especially today. 7%. That's a massive move. Also, you can see all the golden trend lines were broken, and the last hurdle was basically this 10 to 11 bucks right here, and now we are finally, it seems like, getting rid of that level. The SBLK, the Star Bulk Carriers Corp, again, ever since we broke the head, the shoulder, and then we had that tiny bull flag there, trend line, we are grinding higher, in my view. Also incredibly bullish. Again, when I say bullish, it doesn't mean, oh, it's a buy right here. It just means that if you have bought, the breakouts, whatever, that it is still a hold. Again, just because it's bullish doesn't mean it's a buying opportunity. Just to get that clear. Many people, when people on Twitter and so on say, "Oh, it's really bullish here," again, it doesn't mean that it is a buying opportunity. It means that you should be looking for an excuse to enter, depending on what setup you use. CTRM, again, one of the most hated stocks in this sector here. I want to go to the daily because we need a bit more detailed view. Massive breakout here of the golden trend line, goes back many years. Retesting now and retesting again here. We need to see what happens right here, basically. See if we can flip this golden trend line into support and then finally start to leave. The weekly, you can see why it is so important. That golden trend line right there, how important it is. We are above, and we are bullish consolidation above that golden trend line. Always a very good sign. Always. In my view, again, not financial advice, but buying here with a stop below that pivot low, I mean, it's not the worst, thing in the world to do. But again, you can also wait for a bit more confirmation. That's totally up to you. But again, it is a hated one, and yeah, you can clearly see why we haven't made any major moves for a long time. We had that false breakdown here, and that's also the reason why I think we could actually have a spike higher. False breakdowns usually leads to a bigger move in the opposite direction. So GLBS, weird chart, weird chart. Again, we had that squeeze, which I'm messing with right now. We had that squeeze in there, which was a huge blast off boom to the upside again. A bit I wouldn't say a concern here, but we are below again, you know, that this level at roughly 2.5, and we're below this pivot high. But for now, again, we are making higher highs and higher lows. That's obviously the good part. And I think if we go to the daily, you could make an excuse that we are some sort of in a bullish you know, consolidation here, and it looks like we want to go to the upside at some point in time. Again, it's a small stock, so they are very erratic compared to, you know, the bigger names. Speaking of bigger names, $400 million company, Safe Bulkers, looks absolutely primed to rip the beep up here. You can see here we are above, you know, this massive level here at roughly 4, and now we have this cluster here. In my view, this is just waiting to blast off. Again, 5% dividends, a 10-year long. Does it connect to there? It actually does, you know, with a bit of an excuse. But anyways, a 10-year long trend line getting broken here. Confirmation above 4.3. Beautiful, in my view, long-term hold is SB when we break that level. Amazing. Actually, it is really an amazing chart. Again, we haven't broken, no celebration. But when we do, beautiful. And again, for the next, if it breaks for the next half a year, maybe the entire 2024, the stop loss should, in my view, be below somewhere, you know, the $4 level. If we started to grind back down there, I think that's a big warning, and that should be of major concern. Ship here. Again, bit of a different looking chart compared to the others, but the golden trend line is broken. And now we're basically fighting with that $8.50 level. Clearly getting above that would mean that a massive, you know, 2 to 3 year long resistance is now support. And again, we should be grinding higher into these pivots up here. Yeah, D-Nord, Danish company actually, still deciding which way this triangle breaks. Bullish, bearish. It is quite simple. That's just how it is in my view. I want to make it a bit more clear. You know, within this triangle here, breaking above the blue, obviously very bullish. Breaking down from the golden, especially if we also take out these lows here, look out below, big time. EGLE, beautiful, beautiful weekly candle. Nothing bearish right now to say on a weekly basis. Why? I want to show you. Golden, what's it called? Trend line right there. You know, we tested it here and went sideways, and now we're actually having a very beautiful green weekly candle here. Just, yes, the week is young, so obviously the weekly close here is what matters. But yeah, let's see where it ends, to be honest. But still, this is a very good bullish setup here, and I think we're getting a weekly confirmation. Again, we have 3 trading days left, so let's see where we end up. But definitely very good signs. This one should be on your radar if you're interested in this one here. The dividends is not much to speak about, but this right here, I like it. ESEA, whoops, ESEA. Left that major long-term bull flag here, and we are now at the triangle high. We're actually above here. Even though we have broken that 2021 high, I wouldn't be a buyer. No, it's a breakout, let's go higher. The reasoning is that we have come a very long way. You can see this move here for the past, ever since November. You know, what I like to see, you know, getting rejected there and then some sort of bullish consolidation below, and then I can buy the break, or if I get a perfect entry below, that is, you know, I find better. I will never buy into such a massive move there. Right or wrong, that's just a rule that I have. Let's say it goes further, obviously, and then you come down, then yes, the retesting is a buying opportunity. It could be a buying opportunity. But to buy right here, you know, after that move, again, my personal opinion, I would never do that. But again, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It just, that's how I see it. Again, I just try to show you basically how I view things. GNK, also nothing major, nothing new to say here. We broke that golden squeeze there. We had a bit of a smaller one there, Beautiful breakout, retesting, and then blast off ever since. Still long-term bullish here. Again, I think we have some big resistance at roughly 20. The reasoning why is, quite obvious right there. 20 will be the next big hurdle to get through. GOGL, Golden Ocean Group. Still, we're grinding, in my view. Maybe we're not grinding, but we're actually back into the bear flag, which is always a good thing to see. But let's see if it really can hold, the bear flag. But ever since it left that red resistance right here, which we were defined, it went from 8 to roughly 11 in a few months. That's quite nice to see. But again, I'm not convinced just yet, to be honest. DSX here with actually a potential, and I say potential because double bottom here. Actually, if you really want to be nitpicky, we have a lower low there, and the RSI is more bullish, but you really have to be nitpicky to see that. Let's see if this can join the party. But again, if you have a stock that is underperforming heavily when the overall sector is actually doing quite well, you should always ask yourself, why is that? Usually, in quotes, there's something wrong, in quotes, with the stock here. But again, maybe it will show itself and start to grind higher. But for now, it's still, not the best of the best. Skipping to boat here, the boat Sonic Shares Global Shipping. This was, the entire situation down, with the shipping routes and so on. And ever since we have just been, in this range right here. Do I think we will get a retest here? If we do, close the gap and the retest, in my view, buying opportunity. It's a screaming buying opportunity. But overall, it looks really good. We have broken that major squeeze there. Nothing wrong with the chart. TNP. You can see TNP, in my view, very not so pretty chart, but nonetheless, inverted head and shoulders goes back roughly 7 years. And also the golden trend line has been broken, coming all the way down there. So again, if we get above, roughly 25, 26 in that range, then in my view, it triggers a lot more upside. You can see here we are basically fighting it here. We have a tiny gap there. That was the situation with the shipping route and so on. But anyways, very close here. And yeah, is it a buying right now? No. And you need confirmation to break through. TNK came into our resistance zone that we have been talking about for a few months now, roughly 63 to 68. And you can see here we're getting the rejection that not that we wanted, but that we anticipated were likely, and we're getting, the rejection right now. Let's see how low we can go. Overall, we have come a pretty damn long way from 9 to roughly 60 in 2 years' time. That's overall an amazing move. And on the way, during that, we have actually taken out a massive golden channel here. And so again, still very bullish, and you should just be looking to see on the daily, maybe if you can find an excuse to add into it. Could be, if we come all the way back down here to roughly 43, I'm not saying that we will. If we do, that could be a place to get in. Again, if we do, I have no idea if we will, but again, here you can also see, it was squeezing out quite heavily there. So TORM here on the weekly, go away with you. Major long-term bull flag broken to the upside, came into the bull flag high there, getting rejected. Again, I think we'll retest it there at roughly 220. And hopefully it holds. And then we go higher. If we get back into the bull flag, you should be a bit concerned again for the false breakout. Usually the false breakout here could lead to a move to the complete opposite, trend line within that formation. INSW. Yep, I want to show it right there. Again, I wouldn't say a very complex chart, but again, a bit difficult to really get a grasp of. But the main thing right now is that we are into the all-time highs here, peaking above, back below again. Again, shouldn't be it should be a bit, you know, of a concern when you see that move peaking above and then coming down again. But again, overall, I don't know exactly how to play this one here. There's a few lines that matters, and again, this blue uptrend is basically the only big important line that you have. Even this one you could actually go ahead and delete maybe. So again, weird one. I don't know exactly what to make of. DHT to me, very clear. We bought in here, and now we're just fighting that red resistance. Again, same thing. We have a triangle coming in here, breakdown from that green, and you know the entire thesis I think wouldn't be lost, but you should be damn warned if we get that break, especially the outside green trend line here, right there. If that gets broken on a weekly basis, you should be a bit worried. Again, we're looking for break to the upside, and then we are in for a massive run if that happens. No, not last one, but we have the STNG. How big do we want to show this? Yep, I want to show it right here. We had that big breakout here above that $68 level right there, going back 10 years or so. You have it also there, the pivot high, and again, breaking out. Now we're coming back, retesting that. We are in this yellow uptrend here. As long as it holds, you basically shouldn't do anything. Ideally, you want these levels to hold, you know, at roughly 64. That is ideal. And if we do, I think we will have that move to 84, the long-term golden trend line. And then I think we will rest for some time. We could actually go all the way down again to 65. NAT, you know my thing on the NAT chart here again. I don't know what to make of this kind of rounding stuff right there. So as you know, I have my long-term golden. That's the only thing I'm interested in. And until then, I don't spend, you know, many minutes per week looking at that chart. That is for sure. Fro frontline has done incredibly well, paying massive dividends. Beautiful, beautiful here. Still very bullish. And even though I say bullish, no, you shouldn't be a buyer up here, in my view. We have some big levels coming in. I think it could go, you know, to roughly 25. But again, you have some sort of uptrend here that is still very much intact. But again, I wouldn't buy it so late into the move. Obviously, well, not obviously, you know, the levels, the buying was down here. That's the big entries. And you could have, you know, been riding that for a very long time. Yeah. Let's see what happens here when we get to 23, 25. Over here, I expect, and even I hope that we get some sort of pause, so we can get an entry. But for now, it has been weekly, higher highs and higher lows, more or less all the way. So very strong. Simsalabim. Also one of the more hated ones. Golden trend line or trend channel broken. And the technicals after that has actually been pretty damn dead on. You know, broken out, we came all the way up to that pivot low there. We did the retesting, beautiful. Then all the way up to the pivot high there. And now, ideally, we want to pause there at roughly 12. If it happens and we found buyers here and we go up to here, yes, you know what it is. That is a big inverted head and shoulders, and that should trigger a move that is substantially higher. Not the prettiest straight line right there, but you know what I mean. And yeah, let's see if that can happen. So that is all shipping. I think the Baltic Dry Index looks incredibly well, or the BDRY, you know, the tankers and so on, looks really, really good. And yeah, again, if you can get an amazing entry, you can actually get some pretty hefty dividend along the way also. That is all, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.